This is Justin AMZN on April 10th, 2018, Tuesday. Taking a look at the pre-market this morning, and we gapped up into the range that we spent the morning and early afternoon of yesterday, and then sold off. So it's similar to how we opened up. We gapped up yesterday morning, and within this triangle, and here we are up above the triangle slightly. So we'll step into the day and see what happened here on the 5 minute. Opened up, excuse me, opened up and came right down into the triangle, which is like, great. Okay, we sold down into it. Maybe it'll get going. Maybe it'll rally out of that and bounce and keep going. But we're still in the area of these selling candles up here. I'm sorry, we're below these selling candles in this area where there was selling that came in, and I know that's a bullish candle, but selling came in on that candle. So we're below that. So it still could be a resistance, but if you're buying here with a target up here, that's a little bit of a gain, maybe 2R with a stop below here. So you want to wait for another candle to come in and see what happens, and that's an inside candle, which is great. Some consolidation. Okay, we could still go bullish above it, and then this happens, and we actually are back into the triangle. Pretty large volume, and we're bearish, and pretty good move. And it's like, okay, maybe we are going to stay in this triangle and come down and then chop around in here and come back up. And then immediately we're coming back up a little bit right here, which this could be a retest of the open low. Maybe some people got in bearish here on the retest of this level. Maybe they weren't quick enough to get on this 5 minutes, so they waited for another 5 minute candle and or still had their order open to get in here. Maybe they were skipped and they had a trade open to get in bearish here with a stop up here. It's kind of wide, but definitely 2 or 3R down to the 1404 price. And so here's the rollover. It looks like it's going to head back down, and we got bearish momentum, not a squeeze, just some bearish momentum. Okay, now we're retesting again. We're breaking down, retest, break down, retest. We should just continue to go down, but we didn't. We actually came up a little more, made a nice indecision bearish candle, and then made a bullish engulfing candle on that. It's like, okay, maybe anybody who got in here, this is a little bit longer of a retest, going bearish. Maybe we will retest the triangle again and then roll down. Okay, this can still be bearish. We're losing a little bit of momentum. A nice small candle inside bearish. This is still inside. This is now 25 minutes of some consolidation in here. If you are in bearish, you've probably tightened up your stop to here because you want this to just go. You want it to move. And now we actually retest to the upper edge of the triangle. And this would be a great place to load up bearish if you're going bearish. Maybe you waited for it to come back into this candle's range, and now you're saying, okay, I'm in bearish. There's some people selling here. That's what the wick is. Maybe they had the same triangle drawn, and we throw another wick up a little bit higher, and now we're going to roll over. Here's an evening star reversal right here. This is a great place to take it below the low here. Bearish with a stop up here if you weren't in yet, or maybe you got stopped out and you're going to try it again to roll over. Just remember, this is a bullish gap. Similar to yesterday, we had a bullish gap. We chopped around up here for a while and then sold off late in the day. Now up here, for today, we rallied back up into this price. Now we could roll over, maybe just chop around, maybe come back down to the low of the day. But that's the setup, If you get in here, maybe to the low of the day is close to 2R, maybe 1.5. But we actually don't go bearish here. We actually go bullish. And so this move up was a great place to, from this consolidation to actually go bullish. And the fact that we had already opened up above this triangle. This was just somewhat of a retest of this bullish move. So it's like, okay, we're clearly now going bullish, but this is not the place to get in bullish. You're too close to the open price, the high of the day. There's not enough left here to get anything. So just wait for it to pull back some. It'll probably pull back in the triangle. Maybe the triangle is not as relevant. So we'll step through some of these. We come back down. We're following the triangle down a little bit. Okay, good. This is a little bit of a pullback. We've got this buying candle here right off of the triangle. You could get in above that with a stop below it. That's a nice, what is that, $5 or less risk. And so you could look for a move up to, the high of the day for 1R and a little more for 2R, something like that. Maybe you're in on this candle. Maybe you waited for this candle. If you're in on this candle, great. That's a good trade. Stop down here, or maybe stop below this one here, a little bit wider. So this isn't quite 1R. This is 2R up in this area here, maybe. And it starts to move. Then immediately pulls right back, which gives you actually another opportunity to enter that same order bullish and look for a move higher. And it starts to bounce. Small candle. Okay, we're just kind of chopping again. And then we take out that low. We actually took out the low below here. So it's just a choppy day. The consolidations we saw, all throughout the morning, we're seeing more of that in here. And okay, now it looks like we're breaking the triangle again, breaking into it. There's a neckline here, maybe. Maybe we'll come back and retest to this level of the neckline. But, we just couldn't get anything going in either direction. Bearish a little bit here, bullish a little bit, retracement, looking like it was going to continue, but staying relative highs right in here with this one being a higher high. Now we got the bearish or losing bullish momentum. We got the squeeze forming. This could totally go to the downside, and it doesn't. It retests back up and then consolidates here for 20 minutes, and squeeze still forming. And they start to roll down, and we're just dancing on this triangle again. So now it's like, okay, you fooled me once. I was going bearish down here. I got stopped out. Maybe, it wasn't me. I'm just saying what people might have been thinking. Now here, we did the same thing. We pushed through this. We made a new low, but we did that here, did that here, did that here. This just looks like a bigger triangle, bigger kind of consolidation, and it's just dancing down this line. So this is actually a really good line to say something's going to happen along here. Yesterday it was resistance. Today it's almost like an S curving line, like we're curving around it back and forth to see what we're actually going to do. Still have that squeeze forming. We had some more bearish momentum. Now we got a bullish candle. Actually took out the high of the bearish candle with some selling that brought it back down. But now we're straddling this line again. So if we're going to go, at this point, if we're going to go either way, bearish or bullish, it's really indecisive. We could go bearish with a move below this down to the 1404. We could go bullish above here with a move up to, definitely the high day for an R, and then, higher, obviously, to continue higher for 2R. But that's still, this is really, these two candles are really wide. So are these. Threw a couple wicks up. Really want to wait for something small that we have a good risk to reward, and something that's very distinctively the way that's deciding how we're going to go. Because we keep having these retracements either way. So let's take another look at a couple candles. Here's a small candle. It's an inside bullish candle. Sorry. Still got this cold. I've almost got it knocked out. Hopefully this week it'll be the end of it. Anyway, small candle, spinning candle, very similar to this one that then broke down. We're right back into the similar range here, and we still have the bearish momentum on that squeeze. We throw a little bit of a wick below, another wick. Now this is a good consolidation. 15 candles. We made slightly lower low. Much lower low on the candles, but this is a bullish engulfing of the previous candle. It looks like you could actually set up a trade with a stop here and a trigger here, or a stop here and a trigger here, and you would trap people who were buying here if it went bearish. And if you were bearish on this candle, this is probably where you've got your stop. You're going to get stepped out as more people are buying. This is on its own just a great buying candle at a level that's, you know, known. Well, I was going to say known support, but it's been known support, known resistance all through this. It just, you know, has been kind of, you know, our moves on Amazon has just been straddling that. So let's take a look at another candle and see what happens. Nice small candle, nice small candle. Okay, we're just going to continue to dance. So this is now 30 minutes of, again, just dancing, just some smaller candles. You know, we had some bigger ones earlier, some bigger bearish candles. Now we got some consolidation here, and we're losing some of that bearish momentum. Now we regained it a little bit. We took out the low a little bit, but now with a close. So what we really want to see is a 5-minute that closes below this level, or closes above this wick up here, or probably above this one here. So that's still quite a range. It looks like maybe we'll come back into the triangle. You know, we've only had 1, 2, this is now the third close below the triangle line since we got above it in this area. You know, this candle was the last time it closed below. We had plenty of closes above, which may suggest that maybe it is going to go bullish. We had started the day above this line, and anyway, you can stop looking at the angled line if you want to just look at some pre-market levels. You know, we had some lows through here that then, you know, were sold from. But anyway, after 4 bearish candles that didn't really move too far, I really want to see a bullish candle and then a failure. If we're going to, you know, retest similar to this, come back up, and then break that down. So really, you know, that would give it a little more confidence going bearish. Okay, there's that candle I just talked about. Now, if we see a close below here, I know we're going bearish. Conversely, this candle had to gap up to open like this, just like a gap down here. So this could be filling the gap, or this can be ready to get going above, you know, 1427 here to the upside. More consolidation. Very, very small indecisive candle. It's at 12:25 lunchtime Eastern in the Central Time Zone. Sorry, I'm in Central. And it's like, okay, we've had all these different consolidations. This looks like the pattern we saw yesterday, where we had some, you know, reversal. We had a bearish engulfing here. You had a retracement. You had these 2 bookends, bearish, and then it broke down, retested. This is just this consolidation. Okay, get ready for this to go bearish. If it breaks below the bullish candles, so 1421, let's call it, 1421.50, something like that, or bullish up here, breaking out from these wicks, and you got a good consolidation. You're trapping a bunch of folks through here with some slightly larger volume on these candles, you know, but right now we're still below the 21 exponential. We want to get obviously above that, above these, but our momentum is shifting. It's still a little bit bearish, but it's lost a lot of its bearish momentum. It could be switching to go bullish, and it does. So we had that very small candle. This is a bullish engulfing candle. It clearly takes out these highs. It is clearly not bearish. It didn't even wick down below that triangle line. This candle is clearly bullish on the day, or at this point of the day. You know, we're right here in these highs. I would still want, now that we have this move, I would still want to have a pullback into this level, either right now or, you know, pretty soon, down to like 1426 to go bullish. Don't get it here. Okay, pull back a little bit. I want it a little bit further. Here we go. In on this candle. Now, I wasn't, but I'm saying this is the setup. This is how I would be walking through this day to trade this. Got this candle back down. You're into, you know, the selling wicks of some of these candles, selling, you know, the body of some of these candles where people were selling. You know, this is definitely in the 1426. Stop probably down here on 1422, 21 maybe. So, you know, $5 stop on the stock. It's, you know, 1-to-1 up to the high of the day in here, but you want it to go further. Now we've got bullish momentum on the squeeze. Still has not fired, But now we've actually moved away from this line. We didn't push through it quickly like we did in the first 30 minutes of the day. We consolidated on it pretty much the rest of the day. This was like a false buying, false break. Maybe somebody made an R between buying here and getting out, right up here at a previous relative high, something like that. We're coming right back up into that area. We're far enough away from down here. If anyone's buying up here, this isn't the place to buy. The place to buy was on this pullback, on this candle. This could actually be a place to go bearish if you were going to make a little bit of counter trend back down into this line. And by counter trend, I mean the last 35 minutes or so have been bullish. You would want to catch some retracement, but it just kind of keeps going up a little bit. This throws a little bit of the lower wick back maybe to the same level that it broke out from here, the 1427. Let's see, the low there is 1427.35. Maybe somebody had an order out to buy there. Somebody did because there's a lower wick. We triggered on our squeeze bullish, and we engulfed that candle. We're moving up. Now we throw this candle. This is into a new high in the day. Takes out these highs, this high. Definitely people taking profits. Got it sold back down. This could sell back down to the line down here around 1422. Or it could just be pausing and then it'll continue up. Still have plenty of bullish momentum. Pulls back a little bit. Looks like an evening star reversal. You could take a trade, bearish below this and move down, into where you think more people would be buying again, like 1427, 1426. But it would only give you like a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So, a small indecision candle again. This is a good place to reverse, go bullish, and we get a little bit more of a pullback. So maybe some folks were stopped out here who were moving their stop up slightly. Maybe some folks, around this level actually got in bullish. We came back into the 1427 price again that we were just talking about. It was 1426 here, 1427 here. So if somebody missed the entry here, could have waited another 30, 35, 40 minutes to get in here. And then we start to bounce again. So we gapped up a little bit, between this close and this open here. To do that, similar to these candles here, and this has the potential to continue moving up again. But we trapped some people. It was just a really choppy day. So you take a look at this, ignore the line going down at an angle for the triangle. Now you got, some highs through here, some low, well, not really another low here. You got some lows through this. Okay, this could be another target. 1423 price could be a target, 1422 or something like that. If anyone's moving bearish, throw a wick, and we actually then charge higher. So this candle, and I guess this one kind of small, too small, but okay, mostly this one and this one look very similar. This one now is reversing in midair. It doesn't have the angle it doesn't have the triangle line. You've actually retested now fully into this candle, which you didn't quite get to here. So I like seeing retests into a range of a really small candle, because if you had a trade set up to get in bullish above it with a stop below, now I'm assuming that this candle opened, ran down, and then went up. So somebody would have been triggered here with a stop here after getting triggered in, not had an order here. You would have had to set up with a limit buy at this, or a stop limit buy at this price with a stop here to get that trade. Had you just set up over here a limit buy to get in on this candle, the high on this candle was, let's call it 1425 with a stop at below the low. Let's just call it 1423. So $2 a risk. If you had that set up over here, you would have been triggered in. It would have been off to the races in no time. Right here, we're right back up into the previous selling. So, okay, some people are going to take profit on this small move. Maybe that was an R. From way down here, you're probably at like 5R on just the stock. We formed a squeeze again, and we just keep on going. This time we take out another high. We trap some folks here who are going bearish, this looks like it could just keep moving, and it does, moves up. This would have been a huge move buying this retest. This looks more like, okay, we consolidated on a triangle here, not the red line, but a triangle here. Trying to draw it, trying to circle it with my cursor. Hopefully you're seeing that. Breakout, retest to the breakout point, and then continue higher. And fire the squeeze, but right now it's 220, so don't expect too much more the rest of the day. And we kind of consolidate a little bit. We really want to see something move higher, or probably just get out in the next couple minutes if you're in that. And that's where we ended up. A little bit of consolidation into the close. We're above the pre-market prices. We are really, really, really just sitting up here relative to yesterday's highs. And it's a good resistance. It's a good place to pause, good place to take profit. What was that price? 1430. I can't see what candle I'm on. 1438.48, and this was 1437.64. Oh no, I'm sorry, wait, read the wrong one. 1438.48 and 1438.38. So 10 cents off these highs. That's phenomenal. I didn't realize that price before. So the high to yesterday, 1438.48, and the high today, 1438.38. So 10 cents off on that candle. Look at this, just this consolidation here. This is our line that we've got drawn in at a down angle without the before or after hours on the chart, obviously for a daily candle. But this is a great consolidation. Again, this could still break below, break below the triangle, come back, trace down into it, or just go bonkers and move up. This could be a double bottom, and this being a neckline, the gap. So you could get in, after that on a bigger, more longer term trade. But had you set up something where you came back into this range on this candle, wanted to go bullish, this is at 140, you would have been buying probably near the low on that candle with a stop below maybe this candle, or a stop, if you had been so aggressive to have from high to low, that's $1.24 on this candle. That's nothing. So let's go look at the calls, and I'm looking at the 1450 call, which we're ways away from. Well, what time did I say? 140. Somebody could have been buying here for $9.25, maybe $9.50. Let's call it $9.50. A stop, $1 away. It didn't even come down into that. And, quick move over the next, 5, 10, well, actually, I'm not sure how many minutes that was, because sometimes the options skip minutes if nobody bought. So was it buying in this range up to here, which would have been clearly above the highs. So maybe this candle. So maybe you're taking profits at 205 instead. So from 140 to 205, maybe you got out for 1140, I don't know, somewhere there, but you had bought at 950. So that's 3R, or what did I say, 11? That's 2R. So that's around 2R, and just a simple trade that came back, retested into an area that we knew. This is the 1450 call expiring this week. If I switch over to the put, so I'm looking at the 1400 put expiring this week, and we had that opening rally that didn't really give much of an opportunity to get into. So a lot of premium loss, and then just chopped sideways, and then it just continued to drop this premium out. And I looked at a couple options, and there were some opportunities to get in bearish, but it just kept moving down all day. There was some consolidation here, but the option price just kept going down. And so there was a few places that you lost premium on the call, came down in here, put in a new base, break out, retest, and go. And so this was probably the trade to take. There was enough visibility to what was going on, with this sort of structure: breakout, retest, and then a rally. And for like Elliott wave, you could count this as a ABC going up, something like that. So there was just some triangles here that turned into some small breakouts, similar to some other things going on in the market. But pretty cool move. With this, let me switch over to my hourly and see if we've got any not real triangles, but triangles that I think our swim likes to draw in for us. And I don't see any here. So let me go up to 4 hour and see if that changes. See, those were the triangles I'm talking about. These that kind of automatically populated. I don't see any coming in for us here. It is interesting. We have a squeeze forming on the 4 hour, losing bullish momentum. It's possible that this could still just roll over. This was a very small candle today, and I'm actually glad I didn't trade. What am I trying to switch to? I want daily again. I'm really glad I didn't trade because it was so easy to whipsaw it out of trades. It just almost wasn't even worth it. So very indecisive candle. Easily trapped anyone who bought here, anyone who was buying up into these wicks and wanted to hold on for another day. I mean, this is, let's see, this high was different by, this one's higher by 10 cents. So this truly is 3 days of a consolidation, just tighter range on each day. And we actually ended up positive, which these two candles look like a bullish gap and go. And we'll see if it just continues up. But look at the daily and you're looking at stocks, you can do that, but looking at options, you want to get a little tighter range, and so you want to go look at the hourly chart or something to see, okay, where can I really get in that's going to be helpful for keeping a small risk. So looks like we did something very similar to this. We came down, we put in a double bottom, we rallied, we put in a double bottom, now we're rallying. I mean, this could be just a repeat of this with just kind of a slightly smaller, sort of a fractal appearance to it, that it's happening on, kind of a different time frame. But I mean, you can see this over multiple days. This looks like it's just condensed a little bit compared to this. Maybe because there was so much pre-market of just sideways and we haven't had tons. I don't know. I'm seeing some similarities here with the double bottoms. So there's definitely a chance to continue higher tomorrow, getting above the 1440 price on a breakout, or another pullback. Really just watch what it's holding, if it's this line or if it's something else that needs to be drawn in. And hopefully this is something that was valuable to you and made some money on. I did not make any money on Amazon. I also didn't lose any money on Amazon today, so that's always a good thing, especially on a day like today where the analysis just seemed to keep changing every few minutes of how this thing was moving. So that's a choppy day, definitely a choppy day. On some of these moves, I don't think I saw like a 10R sort of gain or 9R or high single digit sort of setup. There's mostly just 1, 2R that could have been taken out of today. So on such a small move, I look for tomorrow, the rest of the week, to be able to get in on some of these that are clearly going directional. This was pretty much an indirectional day. So hope you enjoyed it. This is Justin Amazon.